and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, Brad, we're going to have the big reveal. We're going to review to you what's in this box and the title of our program today, which might give you a hint as to what's in the box.
Yes.
It's a super chair for those that need it, the Milano.
All right, Bob. I'm excited.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
One, two,
3.
Up.
The big reveal. What? Brad, Brad, come on, man. Stick with the program here. Let's get to work.
Bob, I was resting. Why, Bob? Why?
All right, let's get out of here now. So this is the Milano. This is a chair. This is obviously not a chair for the average person. This is a chair for the person who maybe has become disabled and has to sit all day. Maybe an elderly person that sits the majority of his day or her day. Maybe if someone who's had a stroke, somewhere along all these instances. We see a lot of people like this because we work with skilled nursing facilities where people, and sitting and seating is such an important area for these type of people, because for two main reasons. One is comfort.
Right.
And they gave the good examples. This chair is, by the way, is by Seating Matters. Seating Matters.
Seating.
Yeah,
Yes.
very, very big into seating. Very expert. Have a lot of expertise in this area.
Right.
But they gave the example. I thought this was a great example. They said, imagine if you had to take a plane ride, and that you had to sit in your seat for 12 hours, and you weren't allowed to move. You weren't allowed to get up to the bathroom. And that's for a lot of these people. They're in the chair all day long. And some of them, they can't adjust themselves.
They're not strong enough.
Right.
They may have some weaknesses on one side or the other, or all four extremities, or in the trunk too as well.
Exactly. And imagine how uncomfortable that would be. And once you become uncomfortable, you don't become yourself. I mean, you become a little irritable and withdrawn.
Right.
And the second issue is pressure sores.
Sure.
And a lot of pressure sores, very common problem in a lot of people.
Right.
When you're sitting all the time and you're putting that pressure on your bottom, and once you get breakdown, what happens? What are they going to do with you? They're going to put you in bed.
Right.
And then
some people were talking about pressure sores or skin breakdown, ulcers where the skin, because it's doesn't have the circulation because of increased pressure in one area, and the person's not allowed to move, then the skin literally breaks down, breaks open, and it gets real nasty.
Yeah, it does, and it can cause death.
Sure.
There's no doubt about it. It can lead to death because you can get sepsis and infections and stuff like that. So it's not a minor problem. And when you get a chair like this that has multiple adjustments, one can not only help people with their comfort, but also it's going to help them prevent pressure sores.
Right.
And we can show you that today on how some of that works. So this is probably one of the best gifts you could give someone that, a loved one.
Sure.
And in fact, I'm going to give you the example. Right now, we donated this chair to one of the skilled nursing facilities that we work with.
Yep.
And they love it. They absolutely love it. They put up one of our residents in there. This was a resident that we actually had worked with in therapy. We really didn't get very far. This was the first time they said they saw her smile.
Oh.
Seriously, they put her in the chair. She's been more engaged. Again, it's not a minor issue. It's a huge issue.
So previously she was in a standard wheelchair, I'm assuming?
She was in a standard wheelchair, kind of leaning off to the side, kind of, it just didn't fit her right.
Sure, right.
So, and you're going to see here, this has really multiple adjustments that make it fit for a lot of people.
Right, so you can kind of customize, you can customize it depending on the size of the person, their posture, etc.
Right, so let's go over some of the features here.
All right.
So we got the brakes on.
Yep.
Is that we got the brakes on? There we go.
So the brakes work real well. You don't have to bend over to turn them on and off. Oh, we got the front one as well. There we go.
So this thing wheels very easy. I guess that's one of the first things I'm going to say. I mean, I could push this thing with one finger, Brad.
Right. Yeah, it's got nice casters.
Yeah, really well made all the way around. So, for some people, the amount of recline or tilt, I wouldn't call it tilt, I'd say recline.
Yep.
This adjusts all the way back to this degree. I think it's 35 degrees. And I think you can get an extra 5 degrees. I think on the tilt, you can get an extra 5 degrees.
You can pretty much see that's what it is.
Yep.
Typically, people don't measure anyways.
And it changes very easily. I mean, again, this is a little knob here.
Yep.
But the other thing, what this is a really nice feature, it can tilt the whole seat and back at the same time.
Yeah.
The
Can I get in there, Bob?
Sure.
Yeah. That's,
And the reason I like this one, Brad, is what happens here. This is actually a way to take some pressure off the bottom. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's say they're up like this the majority of the day, and you're like, I want to take a little pressure off his bottom
Right.
without taking him out of the seat. Actually, by going like this, I've transferred some of the
Right.
weight into a different area, and now we're taking some of the stress off the seat.
And I can literally feel my force, is going through my bottom side, and now it's transferred to my low back and mid back, actually.
Sure. Yep.
And it's just nice to get the whole body to tilt. You feel more, if you want to take a nap, you're probably going to be in this position.
Yeah, you can actually sleep in this manner here too.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting ready to.
Yeah, you already did before,
I
so
know
it's
it.
no more we're napping for you. So let's show the pillows, Brad, next.
Oh, sure.
So these are very important for a lot of reasons. And what's nice about the material is such that this can all be cleaned very easily,
Sure.
as you can see.
It feels very comfortable. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
got a nice feel to it. It's soft and it's very inviting.
So it's got 3 of these pillows here, and these can be adjusted too, I think, even in the amount of puff they have in them. You can take this stuff out, and I think you can adjust how much
Sure.
you have in there. But what's nice about there's 3 of them, and you actually can remove them. So like this right here just snaps and pulls out here. Where I find this really interesting and where this might really play a role is sometimes when you get the bariatric patients, and with a bariatric patient, they might have kind of a large bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have a large bottom, and they're off to the side here, right? If I'm off to the side like
Yep.
this, and I'm sitting in the chair, they can actually the bottom sticks way out to the point where they actually can't even fit in the chair, but they
Right.
need to get that butt back.
Right.
So you could actually remove the lowest pillow there, and that would give ample room for the bottom. Yeah, there you go, to fit back like this.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So, we may put that one back.
Right.
One way or another, it gives you options.
Options,
To
yeah.
work with to make it custom fit on the backrest.
But by the way, this might be a good time to mention too. Seating Matters will actually come out and do a free assessment for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do classes. They're very much into the educational part of all this. I mean, they understand seating. I actually sent and this was available to anybody. The Clinique, isn't that a makeup thing? Clinician's Seating Handbook. Really
Oh, yeah.
nice. Really,
Yeah. So they got a picture of the spine. They're obviously concerned about the back.
you
And
see how they did that? They used chairs to make it.
oh, is that cool?
Yeah.
Too bad they couldn't see it on TV, but that's all right.
All right, where are we at? We're at seat width. You can adjust seat width too here. These you loosen these up, and it pulls away out. And look how that you can go that's quite a wide width there.
Right.
I don't know if I wrote down what those are, how large that is. I don't think I did. But what is that? About 20 some inches.
Well, Bob,
Brad's gonna grab a tape measure.
why don't we just tell these people exactly what it is? There we got
20
inches there, or over 50 centimeters.
Right. And I think it goes down to what does that go down
There
to?
we go. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, 16.
16.
Yep,
Okay,
16 to 20. Or that is about 41 centimeters.
And this is really important, and I'll tell you why. For one reason, you really only want to have like a small gap in between here. Because if it's too wide, what they're going to start doing is like this.
Sure.
You
Yep.
know,
they'll-
you want to have just enough that it'll holds them in place.
And it usually makes the person feel a little more comfortable if there's some support, not pressure, but a little support.
And this is the first time I've seen this in a chair. You can actually angle these.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this really is nice too, because a lot of let's say you have an arm that lacks external rotation.
Yep.
You can set that arm on there comfortably, and you may not even have to put the trays on there like they have some of the troughs. you know.
Right. For
So,
arm support,
yeah.
forearm.
So it really has multiple adjustments that way too, in and out, which works really well.
Bob, I would say, because I always sit in the chairs that we have just to try them out over the years, and this is probably what I find the biggest thing that sticks out on this. Besides, it is very comfortable, but the arms and the forearms.
Yeah.
So many times they're kind of too too hard. And the people complain about your elbow and that forearm being uncomfortable. Then you have to put
I've
pillows
seen
there.
a little bit of neuropathy that they press on the ulnar nerve.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And they start getting tingling
Yep,
because on
exactly.
the hard surface. All right, you can also adjust the length this way, which is really important.
Yes.
Because if you're short, what happens is, and you got this too long, you're going to get cutoff pressure. You're going to get your legs are going to go too far back, and you're going to get pressure under the
Right.
calf and stuff.
So then the circulation down to the lower leg becomes affected.
And again, if you have that bariatric patient or larger patient, they have the larger bottom, they can get to the point where they're going to slide out of the chair because they don't have enough.
And if you've worked there, in this field, you realize that people can come out of their chair and it can be a problem. So all these adjustments can be really helpful.
So if you look right here, this is not one that you can make easily. You have to use a wrench. But you can go the length this way can be 16-inch, 18-inch, or 20-inch. And there's just, you pull this out off and you can put the wrench on there. And move it.
This is designed so you custom fit it for one person, and it's going to be their chair. You're not going to go from one person to the next every day and use for 3 different people. You would have to adjust it for each person, which would be time consuming.
Yeah. All right. The other thing we can do, Brad, if you want to move that arm back to where it was, like that, to the side like that.
Yep.
You can actually remove the seat cushion here.
Right. So if you need to clean it, which happens, you definitely will need to clean it every now and then.
Yeah. And if you look, I don't know if you can see this down here, Liz. Maybe you can't. Right there. There's room there. You can put a seat belt. You can attach a seat belt to go around.
Right. The hardware's there, so it gets easy attached.
This is a nice flat surface. You can put a Roho or anything, if you want to go one of those different types of cushions here.
Sure.
So it works well for that. Okay.
There we go. Bob, what about elevating the legs?
Oh, yeah. The legs can elevate. There's just a little knob right here, and you just pull and it pops right up. This can be adjusted, the foot plate itself.
Here, let's give them a profile.
Sure. And that can be adjusted longer or shorter as needed, but would need to be adjusted a little bit longer for Brad.
Right.
And it can also be adjusted a little bit this way and a little bit that way, down, that way, plantar flexion or dorsiflexion. And because sometimes people have a little contracture and they don't fit right. So that's a nice feature, too, that you can hit with that. So,
or, you can go down like this. You would have to put a pillow over it to protect. There's some hardware there.
Sure.
But that would be an option as well.
You want to show the directional casters and the brake spread?
Oh, sure. So this really, like we mentioned, really rolls nicely. But if you ever pushed one of these chairs down the hallway and all 4 wheels caster like this, then it becomes a problem. So what they've done, if you push down on the green one here, it locks one of the wheels straight, which makes a big difference so that you can easily steer it.
It's not like a shopping cart where all 4 wheels are going different ways.
So now we can go this. Now, if I unlock that, you're going to see it's nice in a room when you want to get closer to the bed for transfers, but going down the hallway, it becomes a little awkward. So that's a nice feature for the people pushing the chair and working with it.
And then each wheel has a brake, too. So, I mean...
Except for that one.
Oh, doesn't it?
The 3 of them have
I
brakes,
see. Okay.
But really, you don't need... 3 is more than enough.
Oh. And then we should talk about I looked up the weight that you can put in a chair like this.
Sure.
A lot of chairs are normally just like 200 pounds.
Sure.
This handles 350 pounds, or 159 kilograms.
Yep.
And 25 stone. I don't know who uses that anymore.
You got stones on there?
Yeah, apparently. But
who uses that measurement?
I don't know who uses that measurement.
Well, maybe we get a comment.
Maybe
from
give us a comment. Yeah.
It's a country, maybe England or something. I don't know.
We will have a link below this. You want to make sure we put a link below for Seating Matters. Again, get some of the materials if you would like. A very well written handbook here.
Sure.
Kind of goes over all the different aspects you should look at when this is not a minor issue for those of you who are not in this world. It may not seem like a big deal, but it's a huge issue for people who are sitting.
If you have a loved one or someone that you can certainly relate to it. Before we get done, Bob, I was hoping that maybe I could get back in there and you put the box on me again.
Yeah.
Just mention it.
All right. Thanks for watching.